For many families, the cast iron skillet is the preferred way to cook a steak. And one Tennessee foundry has been making them for more than a century. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Sharon Alseth takes us inside Lodge Cast Iron for a look at this legendary cookware company.
South of Nashville, tucked into the Appalachian Mountains, is the town of South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. It's here that Lodge Manufacturing carries on the family tradition of casting iron cookware.
I am fourth generation descendant of Joseph Lodge, who founded the company back in 1896 here in South Pittsburgh. He chartered it originally as Blacklock Foundry, and in 1896 and 1910 it burned down. On the north end of town, he moved it to the south end of town, and 3 months later rechartered it and started operating it as Lodge Manufacturing Company. And so we've been family owned, family operated since day one.
In the past 120 years, the process of making Lodge cast iron cookware has changed a bit, but the raw material used at the start remains the same.
We take raw materials, raw iron ore, raw steel, raw sand, raw bentonite, and we make a combination of all those things to make molds in which we pour molten iron into it. So we take raw materials and make a finished cast iron piece of cookware. The original way of molding was done by hand, and a molder would actually work with his hands and make individual molds. And those would, a great operator, we had one operator here, could maybe make 150 to 200 molds in a day. Our new Diesel-matic molding units that we use here can do 450 molds, up to 450 molds an hour. From the time we take our raw materials and melt it into our furnaces, by the time we make the mold and pour the iron into it, all the way until it's in a box, ready to be shipped to a customer, it's about 2.5 hours.
I think one of the unique parts about, several unique things about cast iron, one is it's totally natural, and it's totally sustainable, totally recyclable. And second is it can be used for almost any type of cooking. There's not a fire too hot. The cast iron can't be used. It can be used indoors, outdoors, wood, charcoal, electric, gas, induction. And I think all that has a real appeal.
Visitors to Lodge Manufacturing come from all over, and if they watch closely, they'll notice Lodge employees take great pride in their craftsmanship, in the company they work for, and in the durable product they produce.
One of the draws to us whenever we first met with Lodge is that they are an American company that are family oriented, and so are we. American beef farmers who are family oriented, who are working together to bring a safe, wholesome, nutritious food supply to our consumers. We love the morals and the foundation that Lodge has. I think it's very, very similar to what we have in the beef industry.
The neat thing is we have 3 different generations of family working here. We have a father, a son, and a granddaughter working here. The father works in the cleaning room, the son works as a maintenance person on the 3rd shift operation, and the granddaughter is a QA technician. So it's kind of neat, that generational thing. We have lots of brothers and sisters, husbands and wives. The skill set here is tremendous.
We're all pretty proud of what we've done with Joe Lodge's company. He certainly built a really strong foundation for us. And I think that pride has grown as the company has grown and people travel and they see a skillet or a casting that they help make, and they may be 10 miles from home, they may be 100, they may be 1,000 or 2,000 miles from home, and can walk into a store and say, hey, I helped make that. And I think that's pretty cool.
With so many similarities to the beef industry, the Tennessee Beef Industry Council realized a partnership with Lodge could help leverage producers' checkoff dollars for more beef promotion.
Whenever we started talking with them about kind of where they're going, what their goals are, who their target audience is, we realized quickly that what they have in mind for their future is very much in line with what the beef industry has. You know, we want people to understand that you can cook fast, easy meals using beef and cast iron, and we think, they feel like a lot of consumers are scared of their product and they don't know how to use it, just the same as we feel about people using beef. We have a lot in common, and we just felt like there's no better match than beef and cast iron, so why not work together.
People like beef in all shapes and forms. I mean, I do for one. With just my wife and I at home, we tend not fire up the grill outside. So we'll take a nice small filet and I'll sear it on top of the stove in cast iron, then throw it in a 400-degree oven, cook it until it's just exactly like we want it.
Partnerships like this with Lodge is so critical to what we do, whether it be education sessions with youth or chefs or public relation. It's so critical to leverage that. We love sharing the Lodge brand with everybody that we can, and just always showing how beef and cast iron work so well together.
Remember, Lodge Manufacturing isn't making a casting. We're making a piece of cookware for a family to have dinner with. And so we take a lot of pride in that.
Whether it's a steak or a roast, a burger or a stew, Lodge Manufacturing has the cast iron cookware to fit the beef meal you want to cook. From South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, I'm Sharon Alseth for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.